If you don't have these two flows running in your e-commerce store, you might be losing thousands of dollars every month without even realizing it. I'm talking about the abandoned cart and abandoned checkout flows. Here is the harsh truth about e-commerce these days. About 70% of carts get abandoned, and that's a massive leak in revenue. But in this video, I am going to show you the exact system we use to recover those lost sales and bring thousands of dollars back into your business. I'll give you the exact flow outline, show you real email examples, and share the A/B tests you should run to optimize the performance over time. So be sure to stick around until the end, because even if you already have these flows running, I will show you how to uncover extra revenue you didn't even realize you were missing out. So as for me, I'm Mike. I'm co-founder of Digital Masters, an email marketing agency, and we help e-commerce brands maximize profit, improve cash flow, and grow customer retention through email and SMS marketing. I've also included the exact document we'll cover in this video down in the description. So grab it, use it, tweak it, it's all yours. As for what's inside and what we'll cover in this video, we're gonna go over why is it important to have these two flows, the problem with many cart abandonment flows, flow outline, and I'm going to give you content guidelines, email examples, and subject line ideas, and how to effectively optimize these flows over time. Okay, so let's first talk about why it's important to have these two flows running. The e-commerce space has evolved, and unfortunately the old see and buy model no longer works. Shoppers are harder to convert, and most people now require multiple touch points before they trust a brand enough to make a purchase. So as a result, over 70% of online shopping carts are abandoned nowadays, and in most cases those customers never return to complete their purchase, costing your store tens if not hundreds of thousands in lost revenue. And if you're like most brands running paid ads to drive traffic, that hurts even more. You've already paid to bring these people to your site, so if you want to stay profitable, you can't afford to lose customers who were this close to converting. But why do people leave right before buying? So there are possible explanations. They might have had an objection, they got distracted, they were just browsing, or they wanted to compare your products with competitors. Whatever the reason, one thing is clear: if you don't have a high converting abandonment cart system in place, you're actively burning money you already had in your hands. So before we dive into the emails and flow structure, let's talk about what's wrong with most cart abandonment flows, why so many of them underperform, and the three key fundamentals we need to keep in mind if we want to maximize the recoveries. So here's the deal: most e-commerce brands think they have a cart abandonment flow, but in reality they don't. In fact, over 80% of the brands I audit are missing a true abandonment cart flow. What they actually have is a checkout abandonment flow, which gets triggered when someone starts the checkout process but doesn't complete it. The confusion comes from the fact that Klaviyo's default abandonment cart flow is misleading. It's labeled as an abandonment cart, but it actually triggers when someone initiates checkout, not when they simply add an item to their cart. To make the difference clear, here is a visual. The abandonment cart flow is triggered when someone clicks the buy now button but leaves before reaching the checkout page. The abandonment checkout flow, on the other hand, is triggered when someone lands on the checkout page but doesn't complete their purchase. And don't get me wrong, the abandonment checkout flow is super important, but it's not the same as a true cart abandonment flow. If you want to maximize recoveries and improve revenue, you need both in place. And also keep in mind that in most cases you use the same flow structure and content for both flows. That's why for the rest of this video, when I mentioned the cart abandonment flow, I'm also referring to the checkout abandonment flow. The only difference between the two is the trigger they have. Another common mistake I see many brands make is setting up a couple of reminders, maybe adding a discount in their abandonment cart flow and then hoping for the best. That strategy might have worked in the past, but it doesn't cut it in 2025. Today's shoppers need real reasons to come back, something that builds trust, answers their questions, and makes them feel confident about buying. That's why it's super important to think about why they abandoned the cart in the first place. If they weren't sure about the quality of your product or were comparing you to another brand, a 10% discount as a simple reminder won't be enough to bring them back. The next thing you need to make sure is implemented in your flow is a split between existing customers and new prospects. And we do this for a few key reasons. First, it allows us to personalize the emails more effectively, and in this way we can show extra appreciation and tailored messaging to our returning customers. Second, the first time buyers often need an extra push, like a percentage off to complete their purchase, but repeat customers, so they've already used your product, they're happy with it, otherwise they wouldn't be back, and they're ready to buy again. So there's no need to offer a discount that eats into your margins. That's why if you're not splitting your prospects from your existing customers, you're giving away profit to people who would have paid full price. Don't do that. And if you're wondering how to do that, you can use a conditional split in your email flow as shown in this image over here. So let's dive into the abandonment cart flow outline. So here is the outline. We'll be using the same structure for both the abandonment cart and abandonment checkout flows. As we've already discussed, the only difference between the two is the trigger. So as you can see, we're starting by splitting the flow between customers and prospects. This helps us protect our margins while offering a more personalized experience for the returning customers. And let's go through the emails that people who have never purchased from you will receive. So email 1 is a simple reminder with a few brand USPs included. Email 2 focuses on promoting the risk reversals you have. Email 3 highlights social proof to reinforce trust and credibility. After that, we can further split the flow based on order value. This allows us to promote free shipping to people who qualify. So really the only difference between the two paths at this stage is that customers above the free shipping threshold will be reminded of that benefit. And in email 4, we'll offer a limited time incentive to encourage them to complete their purchase. Email 5 will serve as a reminder that the incentive is about to expire. And the 6th and final email will be a plain text check-in from the founder offering support. As for the returning customers, we'll send 3 emails only. The first one is a simple reminder. The second one focuses on risk reversal and social proof. And the third is again a plain text email from the founder offering support. We'll also tweak the messaging slightly to acknowledge that they're returning customers and make the experience feel more personal. So let's go through each email step by step, starting with email 1. Email 1 is reminder plus brand USPs. The goal here is to bring them back while the purchase is still top of mind. In terms of content, we need a simple reminder, strong call to action above the fold, dynamic product block with the items they left behind. We need to highlight key product or brand benefits, and we need social proof or risk reversals. So here is a full email example from Bloom, and as you can see, there's a simple reminder right at the top of the email. After that, they show the abandoned products immediately, and just below they've also included their money back guarantee as a form of risk reversal along with social proof through a before and after image. Overall, it's a strong example, and I've also attached 2 more for you to check out. In terms of subject line ideas, you can use any one from these over here. Okay, so moving on to email 2. The second email is a simple nudge plus risk reversal. This email gives them the reassurance they need to move forward by saying, hey, you've got nothing to lose. It builds confidence with guarantees, hassle-free returns, or satisfaction promises. In terms of content, we need to emphasize our risk reversals. So we need money back guarantees, free returns, or warranties. We need to show the items they leave behind using a dynamic product block. And we need to add a strong CTA like complete your order risk-free. So here we have another strong example from Bloom. Right at the top, they address their risk reversal by offering a 100% money back guarantee. Below that, they showcase the abandoned items with a strong call to action, followed by compelling social proof. And here are a couple of subject line ideas that you can use for this email. And moving on to email 3. Email 3, this is social proof. So the goal here is we need to build trust and remove hesitation by showing real customer reviews. When people see others have a great experience, it gives them the confidence to complete their purchase. In terms of content, we need to focus our messaging on building confidence and addressing potential concerns. We need to show the items they left behind using a dynamic product block, and we need to showcase customer reviews that demonstrate product value and address common concerns. So here we have a solid example from HeyBud. At the top, there's a clear reminder about the abandonment cart, followed by the items they left behind. Then they showcase reviews that highlight the value of their products. And as you can see, they also included a before and after image for added credibility. The other example I've attached is strong as well, so feel free to check it out. And here are a few subject line ideas that you can use for this email as well. Okay, so moving on to email 4. Email 4 is incentive. The goal here is to provide a limited time discount to create urgency and drive the purchase. In terms of content, we need a headline that creates urgency and highlights the offer. We need to show the items they left behind using a dynamic product block, and we need to create urgency by emphasizing the limited time nature of the offer. So let's take a look at this example. As you can see, the headline immediately highlights the offer and builds urgency by clearly stating that the 15% discount is only valid for the next 24 hours. And once again, the abandonment items are shown and the copy reinforces the 24-hour window, doubling down on the urgency. And they've also used a dynamic discount code, which is definitely the right approach. And let's be honest, no one believes that a static code like extra 15 will actually expire. If you want urgency to feel real, use a dynamic discount code. And here you can use a couple of subject line ideas for your email. Okay, so moving on to email 5. Email 5 is an incentive reminder. The goal here is to create a strong sense of urgency around the discount, and this is their final chance to buy. In terms of content, we need a headline and copy focused on urgency, and we need to specify exactly when the deal ends to add time pressure, and we need to show items they left behind using a dynamic product block. Okay, so here we have another example. The headline creates urgency by stating that the discount expires tonight. The abandonment items are shown right below, followed by the discount code and a clear CTA. A couple of subject line ideas that you can use for this email are included over here. The next email is email 6. This is a plain text check-in email. The goal is to provide a final nudge and offer assistance. So if you'd like, you can include a special 24-hour limited time offer as an extra push. In terms of content, we need a personal plain text message from the founder. We need to offer them a final chance to use a discount on their first purchase, and we need to create a unique coupon code valid for only 12 to 24 hours. We need to offer help or answer any last minute questions, and we need to include the hyperlink back to their cart. So let's check the email example we have here. So this email checks all the boxes we've talked about. It's personal from the founder, offers help if they have any questions, provides a limited time incentive as a last chance. It includes a hyperlink so they can go straight back to their cart, and creates urgency by saying the items will only be held for the next 24 hours. And that's all you really need. And here are a few subject line ideas you can use for this email. Okay, so that's the full email breakdown, but it doesn't end there. Let's now talk about how to optimize your abandonment cart flow. So if you want to increase the revenue from your abandonment flows, A/B testing is a must. The outline I've shared is just a starting point. Every brand is unique and will need its own set of optimizations. But important A/B tests to run, we need subject lines in preview texts, time delays between messages, your offer. So for example, a 10% off versus $10 off. Text-based emails versus graphic-based emails, and long-form content versus short-form content. And that's all for now. Hope you found value in this video, and if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I'm always happy to help. You can also follow me on socials for more tips, insights, and practical guides. I have put the links to my socials in the document. And if you're an e-commerce brand and need help building a high converting abandonment cart flow, my team and I can set it up for you so you can recover more lost sales and turn missed opportunities into revenue. You'll find the link to book a call in the description down below, and I hope you have a great day.